Hello there, fellow zombie slayers. My name is Stanley557, and here is Shieldless, a series where I complete every single Easter egg in Black Ops 3 and 4 without a shield. This concept has come from the common criticism in BO3, and especially in BO4, about how essential the shield is to the game ever since it was introduced in transit back in Black Ops 2. In each episode, I'm going to be completing a main Easter egg without the shield. The key question I'm asking here is not if it's possible, but rather how difficult it is, and my thoughts on the egg afterward. For the challenge, there's only really 3 restrictions. I can't build the shield during the Easter egg, unless it's specifically required, of course. I can't use ultra rare mega gobble gums or elixirs. This includes gums like Perkaholic, Shopping Free, Raindrops, Near Death, etc. And every Easter egg must be beaten in solo for consistency's sake. Other than that, everything else is fair game. I feel that anything the game offers to you should be used to its fullest extent as the developers intended. The exceptions are ultra rare mega gobblegums, because they break the game. Also, every map will be rated on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being super easy and 10 being super difficult. With all that out of the way, let's begin. I'd give this map about a 7 out of 10. Gorod Krovi is still the apex of difficulty in Black Ops 3, and I don't think I would be able to complete this shieldless without the aid of some gobblegums. The Easter egg only took me 1 real try, and I was surprised with what I was able to get away with for what is usually considered a very difficult Easter egg. The gobblegums I ran were Immolation Liquidation, Idolize, Extra Credit, Undead Men Walking, and Soda Fountain. Unlike most of the other Easter eggs, I would also recommend a state of mind you need to be in to beat this effectively. The idea is to keep pushing forward and don't allow the rounds to keep rising. Playing through regular rounds will be your downfall, and to beat this egg, you will need to know what needs to be done and when it has to be done. But with all out of the way, let's begin. I started out collecting the 100 points from Quick Revive and went up for the Gobblegum machine. Extra credit is still a staple in this challenge, and thankfully I got it on the first try. I then went down because I forgot how much more aggressive BO3 zombies are than BO4 zombies. Jeez, you can't really get away with a whole lot in this game. I'm way too conditioned to BO4 at this point. Alright, ignoring the warm-up attempt, I started the game after simply spinning for extra credit. I also collected Quick Revive to avoid another early game death. After getting to round 5 without getting double points, I decided to cut my losses and use it to start opening up the map anyway. I turned on power and collected immolations. I do find the immolations to be very useful on this map, simply because of the firepower we'll need for later steps, and because of how many good guns are in the box, like the PPSH, the FFAR, the Dingo, the RPK, the Mark IIIs, and Monkeys. Anything would be super useful to have. I also collected Jug, so I would have a safety net while working on the Groff modules. And I'll be honest, I love the Groff modules. Even though they don't really get much more difficult, they are great for early game progression and aren't too hard to start and defend. But it was while defending the first one when I realized how useful the shield is on these and how much harder it is without one. After completing the second one, I also turned on the Gigant I-Beam trap to free the second trophy in the supply depot. The Groff modules and extra credit were great for building points, and along the way I collected Monkeys, bought Soda Fountain, and collected most of my perks. I'm usually not the biggest fan of Soda Fountain, as I find it can be just as broken as Perkaholic, but the good balance is that I still have to buy most of my perks. You only really need 1 to make it through though. I then collected the first trophy from the wall, and built the shield for the one in Tank Station. And just like Zetsubo, it's only required for 1 stupid step. Thankfully, all we have to use it for here is 1 shield blast by double tap to collect the trophy, so it's just a tiny little footnote in our adventure. And of course, it was destroyed immediately after. I then completed the third Groff module and got the ray gun from the box. Then, while trying to enter in the Groff modules to the machine, I instinctually grabbed the shield like a mongoloid. I got the trophy from the safe by Supply Depot, and took the dragon from Supply Depot and ended up at the Pack-a-Punch building. While there, I worked on getting the Mangler helmet by shooting off 5 helmets and 5 arm cannons during the Dragon Strike lockdown sequences. Each phase wasn't much of a challenge, but it's still one of my favorite early game sequences in any map. After obtaining the Dragon Strike controller, I collected the Dragon Egg, freed the trophy from the sewer system by shooting its red light, and returned to spawn to heat up the Dragon Egg. This was my first run-in with the Dragon Fire, and I realized how much more difficult this Easter egg is going to be simply because I didn't have the shield to avoid the Dragon Fire. Once the dragon landed to heat up the egg, I also used that time to grab the Mangler helmet. On round 8, I remembered to use the Dragon Strike on this puddle and collected the 3rd trophy. Seriously, who came up with these steps? How did we even find them? Now, onto the Dragon Egg challenges. The first one involved getting napalm kills. In solo, be very careful, the zombies can corner you easily while waiting for the dragon, so I recommend training by Dragon Command. Now, onto challenge 2, the collateral kills. This can be accomplished most easily with a sniper, like the Locust or the SVG. But if you don't have that though, double tap with a powerful LMG like the Dingo or RPK is also just as effective. Challenge 3 is usually the easiest with melee kills, but because I don't have the shield, I had to buy the Bowie knife just for 3 or 4 kills to complete this challenge. 3,000 points. Down the drain. Once I arrived back at Pack-a-Punch, I upgraded the ray gun and Dingo and began the incubation process. Oh yeah, look at this cute little purple pack camo. To save some time, don't forget to kill the Valkyrie by the generator to start the valve step. To easily bypass the lockdown, you can just sit on top of the stairs that lead to the 2nd floor, and nothing will come up behind you. Well, you will have to deal with the seizures on this light, but it's a give and take. Oh, and don't forget to grab the toilet trophy before leaving. Upon returning, I started the valve step and collected this code cylinder. And please, someone explain to me how the community even figured out that this code was Kronos. There's nothing in the map to indicate this. It's just like, how did they even figure this out? I'll never understand this community. All that was left was to wait for the incubation process to finish and build up some points to pap the Mark IIIs. Once the round flipped, I also collected the Dragon Egg. Oh yeah, I got the Mark IIIs too. Forgot to mention that. Now that that's collected, I can also return back to spawn to collect the Gauntlet of Siegfried. Now with that, we can get the final trophy and begin the Trials of Alcatraz, I mean the code units. Yeah, trophy challenges. The first challenge I got was the Green-Eyed Mangler, and thankfully, I got on Dead Man Walking to make this challenge an easy cakewalk. While the Mangler follows me back to Dragon Command, here are some tips to make the step a little easier. He'll always spawn in Tank Factory, and usually by the ramp to the computer. Also, to make this step even easier, you can shoot off his arm cannon, and he'll begin to run after the player. Also, if you're playing in co-op, you need to figure out which player the Mangler is going after, and have that person lead him back to spawn. Pretty easy. After that was the bomb step, and it's a good thing I had stamina up, because, oh boy, did I get the worst possible bomb path. Okay, here, you know what, I'll just reuse my clip from the Gorod Krovi's broken video. Challenge 3, with chasing down good guy Gersh. Now, this step can be difficult if you aren't prepared. Make sure you have pack-a-punch weapons, but more specifically, have the player with the Mark IIIs attack him. If you chase Gersh long enough, he'll eventually stop for a moment. Once the player with the Mark IIIs finds him, begin to spam the weapon quickly, and as long as you shoot him quick enough between each quote, you'll get him before he blasts away. 1 or 2 bullets should do him in. Challenge 4, the Groff module. As long as you have some kind of LMG or assault rifle, you'll run into literally no issue. Such a good little dragon. After giving Sophia the box, whatever, we can move on to challenge 5, the Valkyrie escort. Now, this step can be very difficult for first-time players, and if you shoot the Valkyrie once, he'll explode, and you'll have to restart the step. So, let me explain how I did it. I was able to make it out of spawn by simply using monkeys, which was very lucky of me. Usually that sometimes fails. And I used Idolized for the push through the infirmary, but I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out Widow's Wine during the Dragon Command section. After returning Nemo, I was able to collect the keycard for the 6th challenge and begin the Mangler lockdown in the bunker. But I think we all know the cheese strat. I mean, come on, look at this cheese. Cheese for days. Never change, COD zombies. Never change. All that was left to do was to return Sophia with the data. I collected the power core, and then tried to big brain the game by releasing Whelp early. Instead, Whelp just sat there and didn't even want to give Nikolai the power core because I didn't summon him right outside the area. Whatever. After almost throwing the game, I had to go back to my camping spot and waste more time refilling Whelp. On the 2nd time around, I released him the correct way. Also, why is this explosive piece of metal missing its texture? Look at that little bugger fly. Oh, and now it's gone. Also, did you know you can jump off the grate while it's opening up? Neato! Now, it's time to start the boss fight. So, I brought the Dragon Wings because they allow me to take less damage from the Dragon Fire. A usually useless ability, but it definitely saved my bacon here. Yeah, this Shieldless boss fight sucked. But, as if Jason Blundell himself heard me, the dragon didn't even burn the battlefield during the 2nd phase. Thank God. And, just like that, we're Dragon Slayers. Now, all that's left to do is to kill Nikolai. Now, this boss fight can be very difficult. It takes a lot of patience and skill to beat him in solo. I'd highly recommend using the Dingo, the Mark IIIs, your monkeys, and G-Strikes, and oh wait, he's dead. Oh my gosh. Now I can see the cutscene. It's Nikolai and Nikolai, and they're talking, and oh wait, my cutscene crashed. After a Revelations teaser, we beat Gorod Krovi Shieldless. I even beat the Easter egg in less than 75 minutes, which gave me permanent perks. So I decided to see how quickly I could kill myself with the electric trap.
Really appreciate. Oh shit! I completely forgot to introduce myself.
Oh wait, his voice is gonna tell me who he is.
I'm.
Oh my gosh! And oh wait, I'm dead. Dang it! Now we'll never know who that was. Oh well, he's probably not important to the story. In conclusion, Gorod Krovi is a very difficult Easter egg to do shieldless. It's still an Easter egg many would consider to be the hardest, but I think that award would go to the Die Rise Maxis Easter egg. The hardest step is getting 4 players to even do it with you. This time, I feel every Gobblegum came in handy, and they were all extremely helpful in beating this egg. Well, that's all for me today, folks. Next up is Revelations, and oh boy, I can't wait. Well, thank you for watching, and remember, keep on slaying.